Hey, welcome back to the Guess Where I Am podcast and who I'm with. I'm Koke and I will be your host for today's layover. As usual, well, I don't know actually. Is this your first time listening to a layover? Who knows? But if you haven't, these are very underproduced episodes, very quick, just really whatever comes to our brains the day of having to record these. Not much thought, not much planning, and not much producing, if any, to all the above. So if this is your first time clicking and seeing the Guess Where I Am podcast, I appreciate you listening to this, but do yourself a favor and listen to any other episode, especially the ones that have a flight in the title, even the ones that have thrills and spills in the title, because those will be the episodes that we actually give real good travel, solo backpacking advice, storytelling. They're just fun and they're actually thought through. And these are just for the podcast algorithm, not to be shallow. But anyways, let's get into it. This episode is going to be all about finding the perfect backpack. And when I say episode, this is gonna be max 5 minutes, okay? Strap in. Be ready for nothing. It's gonna be quick. Like I said, however, recently I've just bought a new backpack for some upcoming travels and things I have planned, but also if you're a fan of the Gua podcast, you know about the Gua curse. So you don't know what travels I will be using this backpack for yet. Once it happens, you'll hear all about it. But we never say anything before it happens. We only talk from experience. So I will tell you about my experience trying to find this backpack. Basically, I had a backpack, again, if you're a fan, you know, that I found for free in the bottom of Joe's apartment complex in a donation bin. When I say the bottom, it's the first floor. I don't know why I just called it the bottom. Anyways, I found it in a donation bin. This thing has seen some things. It was stinky, but it was free. And I was in need of a backpack. I was prepared to go buy a backpack off of Facebook Marketplace. Not a new one, a used one. But the day I walked out of his apartment and I saw it, I knew it was meant to be. So I took it. Why not save some money? We're travelers, we're backpackers, I'm trying to save every dollar. So I took it and I used it for my trip in Africa, fully knowing that this trip wouldn't be much of a walking trip. So I wouldn't actually be needing to carry this backpack on my back for long periods of time. All I really needed it for was to get from A to B. Now, this backpack, oof. There was nothing wrong with it in terms of the parts of it, let's just say. All the zippers besides one tiny zipper worked. All the pockets and, straps and things were there. However, it didn't have a chest strap. And you really need one of those for backpacking and carrying a big backpack on your back. So I had to do a makeshift one. So after this experience with this backpack in Africa, I have now come away with some requirements, right? One being, needs to have that chest strap. I need that extra support to pull the weight off of my back and my shoulders. The second thing I was looking for was that it opens like a suitcase, because that's another thing I discovered in Africa. I hated digging through the bag to get to the bottom. Oh my gosh, it was so annoying. Even though for the most part in that trip, I was able to, unpack everything. It was just so annoying. That was a huge, huge thing. Number 3 was that it was actually made and built to fit a woman's body. Men and women, we have very different body structures. And the backpack I was wearing in Africa, it didn't say who it was built for necessarily. I couldn't even find it online, but it definitely was not made for a woman, let me tell you. It was so uncomfortable. Those were my top 3. The fourth thing that I was looking for, I guess if we're ranking all of my needs in a backpack, was that I needed it to be pretty. Okay, I really wanted a pretty backpack, like a pretty green. Green is my favorite color. I love a nice sage olive green, and I wasn't 100% set on it, right? Like, it could have some funky colors here and there, but I've seen some horrendous looking backpacks, and I'm sorry, I just can't have that on my back. Especially when backpacks are so expensive. And I'm now gonna have this backpack for years and years to come. I can't be walking around like a clown. Not me. I do appreciate the people that can pull those off, those really colorful backpacks, but that is just not my vibe whatsoever. So I was looking for a very minimalistic color palette, monotone, you might say, preferably in the green family. Now, I think the last thing that I was looking for in a backpack was the size. Now, this is kind of where I have a bone to pick with most of the brands that I was looking at. I wanted a backpack that was somewhere between 40 to 60 liters. Now, I've said this in another episode before, I don't understand why backpacks are measured in liters. That truly does not make any sense to me, but whatever. I just knew that that was the perfect size range I needed. I think the backpack I used in Africa was 70 to 80. Like, it was a big boy. So I wanted a small one because I'm actually, with this one, going to be doing some walking. I'm not letting the gua curse come to fruition and ruin that, okay? I'll tell you that much about my travels. However, that was my size that I needed. Tell me why most of these backpacks were measured. They'd say 45 liters plus 10. Girl, just say 55 liters. I don't understand why all of them had 55 liters plus 10. Huh? It was wild. So I ended up going with 45 plus 10 because that was the only one I could get in my size, world that I needed. Now, after the bag arriving, I'm looking at it and I thought this plus 10 might have been a detachable element to it, right? No, it's fully attached. So why plus 10? Just say 55. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say on backpacks, finding the right backpack. I have yet to figure out the perfect way to pack it. I mean, I haven't even begun with this one, but just in general, I still don't understand the rules of layering in backpacks and weight distribution. I gotta do some more research on that. But that's my basic knowledge and understanding of backpacks and what I was looking for, in particular, when it comes to buying a backpacking backpack. But like I said in the beginning of this episode, please go listen and check out any other episode that has a flight in the title or thrills and spills in the title. This here was just a quick little thought dump, rant, whatever you want to call it. We call them layovers here on the Gua podcast. But don't forget to follow us and stay connected with us on all social media platforms at Guess Where Podcast, and anywhere and everywhere you stream podcasts, we are there. And we will see you next week. We have been coming out with some really fun backpacking 101 Gua Declassified episodes recently, and we have 2 more really, really fun episodes coming out really soon. So stay tuned for those. You don't want to miss them. We'll see you then. Bye.